Hey Periscopers, good morning. The topic I wanted to talk about this morning, as the title says, don't panic, you may not be injured. Here's the Facebook update. Facebook's been posting memories on Facebook, and it shows what we put up a year ago today, 2 years ago today, and I saw my post that asked the question, am I injured or am I just getting old? Because at that time when I wrote the post, my knees were hurting me, my feet were hurting me, my ankles were hurting me. I was turning 40, and I thought, okay, it's time for me to really curb how often I play, how hard I go, how much I play, the different things that I play. And so I really had to ask myself some tough questions, because it would be where, like, I'd be walking up the stairs and I would feel a real weakness in my knees whenever I was on the incline. And I was just like, okay, what's happening here? So, you know, I didn't want to stop playing. I really didn't want to. And it took a long time for me to figure out what the issue was, because, I don't know, there's just a lot of different factors that go into this kind of thing. But here's what I have come to believe now, that 40, I'm hoping 50, I'm hoping 60, that is too young to stop playing. And I believe this now because after I pulled back a little bit from my activity, the pain started to go away. And then I started to think about what I was doing, what could possibly have been causing me, the knee pain, the foot pain. And I moved in 2013. And so my life situation changed. And so the things that I play changed, because I generally play things that are close to me. So I used to live close to the Poudre River. I'd go down to the river all the time. I would swim, I would boat, I would take my dog, I would fish. You know, the river was a lot of the stuff that I played. And then I would skate around town with my dog, and would go to the gym and play other things there. So when I moved into the new place, there's a basketball court right next door. Plus, the entire neighborhood has bermed sidewalk curbs, so it's not a square curb, it's a round curb, and it's a very gently hilly neighborhood, which makes it perfect for skateboarding. And my dog loves when I take her skateboarding. So I was doing a ton of skateboarding, which is a lot of pumping on the tail. I was playing a lot of basketball because I moved in next to a hard court, and I had joined a volleyball team. And so I was doing all three of these once or numerous times per day. I might skate and play basketball and play volleyball all in the same day. Now, while that's completely fine for somebody who is younger, as I was getting into my 40s, that's what really started to bother me. And so I decided to just pull back a little bit on the amount of skateboarding, on just the amount of jumping that I was doing. And I went to an orthopedic doctor and had them check out my tendons and ligaments and all that kind of stuff. And they said, hey, there's nothing wrong with your tendons or ligaments. My kneecaps were a little bit, turned out, and there were some minor issues there, but nothing big. And so they, gave me a clean bill of health, but the pain was still there. So I realized that I had to pull back. And then my problem is I can't stop playing for more than a week. Like, I don't like to not do something. I have to be active all the time. The one thing that cut down my activity completely for a solid month and then into 2 and 3 months was having my son. Right after he was born, I didn't play anything because all I was doing was taking care of the baby and working and trying to keep up. And that ended up being the best thing for me because I gave my body time to heal. And so over those 3 months, I was inactive when it came to physical activity like skateboarding, basketball, volleyball, all the stuff that I like to do. And in workouts, I like to do box jumps and that kind of stuff to promote explosiveness in the other sports that I play. So the time off and cutting back on the amount of stress that I was putting directly on my knee because I was doing the same thing, pumping with skateboarding, jumping with volleyball, jumping with basketball, plus a lot of jumping during workouts, I had to just cut back a little bit. I mean, I look back at this article and I asked the question, am I injured or do I just have a bad case of being 40? And the question was, or the answer was, I was not injured, I do have a case of being 40, but I have a case of being 40, but still trying to keep up a large activity level that I wouldn't even say a 25-year-old could necessarily maintain, because if you combine skateboarding, basketball, and volleyball, you know, some of them all on the same day, week after week after week, anybody's going to feel the pain from that. So I have now hit a pretty good stride where I realize that some days I'm going to give myself a break and just not do anything, because that allows me to enjoy more vigorous activity on the days where I actually do it. So I thought it was kind of cool to see Facebook reminding me of that memory, and for me to look back on the past year when I posted it and just kind of think, yeah, I feel really good now. I'm in a basketball league. I play a couple times per week, and I play without aggravation. And I skate less, but I still skate with my dog. So the answer is, I am getting old, but I'm getting old still with the ability to play. I just have to make sure that I manage it properly so that I can continue to play into my old age. I mean, my youthful state of mind will never go away. My body will eventually stop me from doing the other things that I love to do. But I'm hoping that that's way, way down the road. I mean, I played basketball on Sunday with a guy who's 60 years old, and I told him, I'm like, hey, man, my game now is just staying in the game. That's all I want to do, is be able to play as long as I possibly can. What do you think? Give me a shout. Our website is try1025.com. I'm going to repost this article, and I'm going to make it part of a blog post that I'll make with this video. And I would love to hear from you, your comments here on Periscope, on Twitter @PRWaz, or on our website at try1025.com. Thanks a lot for following and being along.